Okay, well, thanks for coming back. My name is Dan, and I'm your art coach. We're going to be doing some drawing a lot more this month of November, and hope that you're able to draw with me and learn some of the basics of drawing. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I'm going to combine two of the lessons we had earlier this week. One, we moved from uh, one, we used two-dimensional shapes to draw a car. We're going to bring that car back up. And then we also did um, we took our two-dimensional shapes and made them three-dimensional. And so now we're going to combine those. Let me pull up that image of the car so that we have that to work with. Okay, great. Let's get started. And this is the car that we drew. And we drew it just using some basic shapes, using our two-dimensional shapes. Move that over for us. And we can get going now. Okay, so let's start drawing. So just a quick review. We talked about how we could draw any shape. Let's just say we were going to make the letter J. And if I wanted to give it some dimension, I would put an angle, a line at an angle here. And then whatever I do on this side, I do on this side. Anywhere there's a corner, we're adding those lines. And then I'm going to make a parallel line to the top. And whatever this line is going to go vertically here. And then we'll do the same over here. And now we're able to think of this J as three-dimensional. And of course we could add some shading and it would look great. So this is one option. And so we're going to see how we can do that with the card that we drew. So we're going to go back. I'm going to draw the car again, and we're going to use a rectangle for the base, a rectangle for the top of the car. We're going to put some circles there. Just basic shapes. That's all we're doing so far. Now we can add those lines again. These are at a 45-degree angle. Make them just maybe a little bit longer. And now it's starting to look like blocks of wood. So now we have a car built out of wood. And just as before, we started to trim it, making it less like a block of wood and more like the car. So I'm going to add a layer here, and then we're going to draw on top of this. And I'm going to start with that window using a curved line. And then I'm going to draw the side of the car with a curved line. Now, because this is the edge, I'm going to do the same thing on the back. And that's copying this curved line. So if I come back over here, and then we come with a straight line down at an angle, I'm going to do the same thing over here. We're going to curve out the front. It comes down a little bit, and then down at this angle, and then back this way. And I need to make those wheels a little bit bigger. And it starts to go up in the back. And then over this wheel, it curves up, and then it curve line down that way. We've got the wheels, tires, I should call them. So we've got the front here, and we're going to continue in the back now. We're going to copy this line here, and that's going to go down and then straight across. And we've got the front windshield. The back mirror or the back window is up here. And so we're using the same concept we're using before. Before we just had two-dimensional rectangles, but now we're taking it a step further and adding that third dimension. Okay, we're going to draw it. We're going to take one more angle. And so I'm going to turn this off. And we'll start here. We'll turn this guy off. Okay, so now we're just going to make this up from our own imagination. And if I really needed an accurate drawing of this car, well, then I would find a better resource. But right now we're just going to stick with this. And because we know how shapes work, we can just have a little bit of fun with this. So I'm going to draw a rectangle from this angle. So now we're looking at the car. It's kind of a three-quarters view. So I'm going to have to go back just a little bit further. And I think that should be enough. If we wanted this to be accurate perspective-wise, there is a way to do that. But right now we're just going to block it in and not sweat it. So actually, right, that line we had before is fine for the back. And then we're going to draw some lines there so we can start building that other rectangular solid on the top. Once again, you can see those vertical lines are all parallel to each other. And then we're adding these lines here. So it's a block on top of a block. That's more like it. And then I'm going to erase these lines just to make it a little more clear, so we can see what we're doing. Okay. So now we can start to carve out. And to do that, I'm going to add another layer to draw on top of. So now we can draw right on top of this. And let's start with the back again. We're just carving out that back window. It comes up to about here, and then it comes straight down. So now I just drew this edge of the car, and I'm going to do the same over here. I'll do this part lightly. Comes up to about there. I could draw a guideline if I wanted to, and then it comes straight down to about there. So this line is now parallel with this line. And we're just going to round it out this way. And we've got a curved line there for the base of the window. And I remember that it curves up back here. And then it comes down this way. And I'm going to extend it even further to about there. We'll come down. And we'll go back. We're going to put an oval in here for the tire. And then the side. I'm going to shade that in just so it reads a little more clearly. Goes back, and then we're going to put an oval here. We get a little bit smaller as it works its way towards the back. Once again, not incredibly accurate. We're just using our imagination. And the big idea of today is that you can use two-dimensional shapes to draw, and you can use three-dimensional shapes. So I've got a curved line here, so I'm going to add a curved line here. It's going to go down just a little bit further, and I'm going to round out the front. And I don't know what the headlights look like, so we're just going to make those up. And there we go. Not bad for not having, just having a side view reference. It's a great start. Again, this were critical that we were a little more accurate. We would just need a better reference. But I hope you can see that these shapes are really going to help you out. It really frees you up so that you don't have to always have a photo reference in front of you. You can just start to make things up as you go. And also the goal of today is to hopefully show the point that if you've got these basic shapes, you can draw just about anything. So I hope that's helpful. Once again, if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. Love to answer your questions. Love to address any topics that you have as we move forward. And I'll be back next week.